Hello, Gemini. My name is NiJiLL, and you have found Alchemy. Welcome to your August 2025 reading. Okay, I did pull these from your summer overview. I re-pulled them as promised, and we are going to build a reading around them. I don't know if you listened to that reading. I'm going to summarize this for you in case you haven't. Okay. You do have the stability card here. It says harmony, flow. This could be something that you're attaining this month or something that you want to attain. I am going to move some of this out of the way so we can get to everything. Here, I'll put that right there. Okay, so you have an interesting card here. It's the Knight of Vessels. Vessels are unique to this particular tarot deck. It's a massive deck. It is from the UK. And vessels contain all the elements of the deck within that vessel that he is holding there. And as you can see, you see the children on the floor there. They represent the planets. And they are represented here very chaotically, if you notice, right? And we could say that about the astrology of the moment. It is kind of chaotic out there, isn't it? The horse there is being guided by something mental, right? Mental clarity. Now, although this is not a swords, it's not specifically swords. You know, like the Knight of Swords would have his sword drawn. And that too is a very cerebral energy, but he is sort of chaotic in and of itself, right? He's just heading off to the future really quick, not really thinking, just doing. This is very different. You notice that this horse is being guided by something above, by the divine here, right? It's an optimistic energy. It is a thoughtful energy. This could represent the arts. It could represent money that could be attained through the arts, through something artistic, painting, drawing, writing, something like that, okay? It is the money in the creative process for those of you, and it is very air. It's air-oriented, although, even though it's air-oriented, it is not swords. I'm going to clarify that again. So here you have the stability card, so perhaps this is something you're looking for. Perhaps you're going to be gaining some harmony in a creative project. That could be as well. You have the moon card coming out here. And with these larger cards, I take them all in the upright. I do not take reversals, but I do take note of them when they come in reverse. So here you have the moon, and the moon is truly upright. This is Cancerian energy. And there is a hidden truth here. With the moon here, a hidden truth, a badly lit path. You know, that path is there, it is present, and it is leading somewhere, but it's not lit well. So you may be going down a path where you really don't see very far in front of you here, Gemini. You do have the Two of Cups, and you know the Two of Cups is traditionally a lover's card. Venus and Cancer, but this is coming together, right? Coming together. This could be two sides of yourself because you are Geminian, right? Two sides of yourself coming together at last to form a solid thing to perhaps work on this project. This could be coming together with something you love, right? A partnership with something that you love. And yes, this very well could be a relationship that you are taking part in, starting, or enjoying this month. You have the Devil card, and you know the Devil here is Capricorn energy. Interesting layout, definitely, as always, Gemini. But you have the Devil here, and this could be you chained to something. Do you see how these two people are chained? And it is the Lovers, and it's, although this isn't the Lovers card, you see two people that are engaging in love. And here you see similar two people, if not the same, chained, right? There could be something that you're chained to. Chained to a commitment from the past, chained to a commitment from the present. This could be a shadow aspect of this card. And the shadow aspect, you know, could be there could be a pattern that goes on within your own mind that stops your progress. It could be an addiction. For at least one of you, it might be. If it's not an out and out addiction, it is something that you tend to do to your own detriment. Okay. So let's look at these cards. You do have here the Eight of Wands in reverse. It is a stuck energy, right? Lack of movement forward. I do think this is only part of the month. I don't think this is your whole month. But there is at some point this month, and I think it has something to do with these chains. You're going to have to either fight your own demons if this is coming from within you, Gemini, or you're going to have to deal with a commitment that you have made that you are sort of bound to in some way. You have the Three of Swords coming in reverse. And that is typical, especially in reverse there. It is Venus and Libra energy. It's a healing, right? This could be, going with the theme we spoke about. It could be healing a part of yourself, something that has really stopped you from flourishing, something that has really stopped you from becoming what you want to become, something that has gotten in the way time and time again. You're looking for that harmony, that flow, that stability, and there is something that needs healing here in this situation. You do have the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands is Moon in Sagittarius, and this is like my I'm still standing card, right? This is the battered and bruised warrior, somebody who has been through some crap, and he's still standing, When we add all this up and we break it down, we get Pluto energy. It really doesn't surprise me, right? The Pluto is Scorpion energy, death and rebirth. There is some part of your life here, Gemini, or some part of yourself that is truly dying away, and something else that is being reborn. There is a path that you're going down that you're not sure about. You're not sure exactly where it's going to lead. You're not sure what's going to be on that path, but you just know that you're going down that path for sure. Now let's look at your overview here. You do have African juju, and it does say believe in your own power and strength to change your circumstances. It does say you will succeed. If you look at the bottom there, definitely you will succeed. There is a healing that needs to go on. There is change that needs to happen. You will succeed. It could be a creative endeavor. It could be. This card also comes out when there is magic in the air. And when I say that, there could be someone working either in your favor or against you in the magic realm. So there could be someone doing spell work, for instance. You do have the uncreated. I really like this card. This is one of my favorite cards, but it's really hard to choose a favorite card in this deck. I think the whole deck is beautiful. This is number 63, and this represents what is not yet created. This is the seed of the seed. And you're being asked to envision and believe. And it does have something to do with something you're creating. Yeah, there is something you're creating here, for sure. You have Panthera. And it says the precious and the rare. And see, you have that butterfly, which is more Pluto energy, and you have the panther, and the panther is Aquarius energy. You can look that up on the internet. It's pretty interesting. The panther does represent the sign of Aquarius. Now, this card, when it comes out in a reading, is your voice, your courage, your determination. That's going to help you through this time, not yielding to something. And this could be, for at least one of you, yielding to your own demise, definitely yielding to your own temptation to fall back into a pattern of failure. And when I say that, it doesn't mean you're a big fat failure. It just means that there is something that you have been trying to attain in your life that's been elusive to you. Maybe you have attained other things, but there is this one thing, and you're your own worst enemy in this situation, is what the cards are so far saying here. Here you have the card of Pisces. You could have Pisces highly aspected in your chart. You could be dealing with someone with Pisces highly aspected in their chart, but this is number 12 in this deck. If the sign of Pisces itself doesn't mean anything to you here, Gemini, then Neptune might, right? That is the ruling planet of Pisces, and Neptune can be confusing. Right? It could be that you've looked at something with rose-colored glasses. Maybe that's your way. Maybe you look at things with rose-colored glasses, and, Spirit is trying to tell you to look at things realistically. Not saying to give up hope. Obviously, that is the opposite of what it's saying, but it's to look at things very clearly. You did pull quite a few cards here, and I decided to keep all the ones that fell out. You have the Sun, and this is happiness and well-being. The sun does represent Leo, and Leo time is part. You look up Leo dates. It's July and August, so that timing could be very relevant to you. You also have needle and thread, and it says a sincere wish will be granted. So if there is something that you have been wishing for, is there something that you've been planning or trying, it looks like it's going to go your way. You do have fan, and it says romance, celebration, and party. So there is going to be, could it be a romance with that Two of Cups? Yes, for at least one of you, that is definitely what's going on. When I see the celebration card with these other cards, though, doesn't mean that it doesn't necessarily mean it's a giant celebration like a wedding or any kind of gathering. It could just be something that you've tried to do that you're actually accomplishing. It could be something as simple as that. You have the camel here and it says persevere and you will overcome problems. There's that perseverance. It is that 9 of Wands energy, right? That perseverance for sure. The camel in general represents the sign of Sagittarius. So this could very well mean something to you as well. You could have the Sagittarius highly aspected in your chart, or you could be dealing with someone like that. When we go over to this side, you do have flying in reverse, and that is number 20. And, you know, as much as I'm telling you to persevere, right, this is the card of going too far over the edge. There's a balance that needs like a temperance type, and maybe that's why Sagittarius came up, right? There is a temperance that needs to be had here, a very delicate balance, to be stable in this situation. Don't do too much too soon. Don't go too quickly. Achieve the right balance here. And you have the judge. The judge coming in. Now the judge obviously could be a legal matter that you're waiting on, a legal matter that is in the middle of a legal decision for some of you, or it could be a diplomatic decision in general, something that's going on in your life. I do think it's going to be in your favor in some way. Okay, it does look positive for sure. You have these two cards. Now this is an interesting, let me see. When we're shuffling the cards, both of them fell out, so I took them. Now let's see if I could pronounce this. This is a Ravelger. Okay, yeah, interesting, right? Very different card. Very different card. It's the card of reflection. And when this card comes out, okay, this appears when the seeker, meaning you, or someone around you is involved in something cunning. It's planning. Cunning could be deceitful. If it's not deceitful, it's bordering on deceitful, but it's something strategic that you are trying to accomplish. You also have the ship of conflict coming in with that, right? And this is Nagulfar, right? This is my Norse deck, by the way. And it always gives me an indication of the language. But the course is charted towards conflict. There's just no doubt. But you are prepared for this conflict in some way. This is not something that's going to catch you off guard. It's something that you're prepared for, you're well versed in, and you'll get through. But understand that there is conflict on the way. You have divine intervention, so it says serendipity, karma. You may be receiving your share of karma this month, but there is some sort of serendipity, a serendipitous situation that comes out of this. Divine intervention is generally a good card, generally, right? Sometimes it could be, if you are deserving of retribution, it could mean that as well. But generally speaking, it's a positive card. And, you know, judging from most of you, this looks positive. And here you have moving forward. It says the first step is taken within our stillness. Yeah, it is very, very like that moon card, except we see the sun, we see something clearly lit, but there is no path, right? And moving forward through a life change. Now you're moving forward. You're moving. It's movement, right? Movement in a direction, movement. And it's because of a life change that's pushing you. It's not like you just wake up and decide to move. This is movement because of something, right? A new job, a project, a location, a relationship. Something is moving you and pushing you towards something else. You have to drive this point home, the waves. And the waves, that is more Piscean energy. So you, like I said, Pisces could very well mean something to you here for sure. It is a mutable sign like yourself. So you might be asked to be looked to use that mutable ability to look at things in different facets of things, in different ways to get through this. You have the letters M, K, R, and C. One of these letters or all of these letters will mean something to you by the end of the month. This could be someone's initials. This could be a place that you meet someone, a restaurant, a street name, something like that. Keep that close to you so you have some sort of an indication, because sometimes it's very subtle when that happens here. Gemini. Now here at the bottom, here are your three legs. Your month is cut into thirds. And yes, they can go in order, but many times they don't. So it's not a science. We know this. So take it for what it is worth. Let me see if I can move this up. Okay. So on your first leg here, you have guilt and sabotage. And when I see the sabotage thing here, you may be feeling guilty about something for sure, but I do think that is that self-sabotage energy that has plagued someone that is listening to this, okay? There is something that resembles self-sabotage that I think you're going to get a handle on it somehow. I just do. I think that your life is changing. You're being pushed towards something or away from something or in a direction that's going to sort of solve a problem for you, a long-standing problem. And here, you have that. Remember when I said you have that it's almost a deceitful energy, but not quite. It's bordering on that. Here we go. You have the Seven of Swords here, and this is Venus, Uranus, and Aquarius. There is a history on the side of the card. The sides are different. This would be your typical Seven of Swords, and here there is a history. You see that skull at the bottom of the card? There's a history involved in this, and the history on this side makes the fact that someone is being sneaky or acting in a dishonorable way, it will make it more painful if it's revealed. So keep that in mind. I don't know if that is you or if that's someone around you that may be revealed, but there is something and it may make you feel very guilty. It may be very guilty. You do have here the Hermit, and the Hermit on this side is a little bit different. We know that the Hermit is pure Virgo energy. But this side tells us that there are some people, Gemini, who could live their whole life without the pursuit of wisdom. But you are not one of them. That is something that's very important to your mental health. So that's something to keep in mind. And here you have the Star, and this is the card of Aquarius. And on this side, it is a little bit different. Pure Aquarian energy. A breakthrough is definitely coming. A breakthrough for something, someone. Things are carefully falling into place. If there is a choice that has to be made, heed the calling of your higher self. Choose the higher road. Choose your higher self. Choose that road. And it looks like everything will work out better for you if you do that. When we add this column up and we break it down, we get Venus energy, and we get that Venusian, Libra, Taurus energy. That could be our love life, could be our self-love, or it could be our money. It could be all of the above or one of the above, okay? So moving on to your second leg here, you have the renewal card. There is going to be something that's going to be renewed. We talked about that. And you're going to go from this guilt, sabotage energy to the spark, potentially. This is potential energy for you. You don't have to do what I'm saying, and you don't have to follow this path. You could follow a completely different path. I mean, tarot isn't written in stone. It is about choices ultimately, but this is the energy that's available to you, all right? You do have more Venus energy here with the Empress. And the Empress here on this side, Libra Taurus energy, is in this photo. And wow, do you see that skull at the bottom? We talked about that. There's history. There's history here. Now we have the Empress, and the Empress is all about fertility and birth and abundance. And we have the skull, and the skull represents death, the death of something. So this side tells us to look towards the future and consider it as you're making moves now. The future is something you need to consider. Now, the center card, which is fairly important, you do have the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords here is Saturn in Libra energy. And it's a feminine figure that is around you. Now, this could be somebody that is important to you romantically. This could be someone that's important to you. It could be some legal thing. It could be anything like that, or it could just be a friend or a family member, right? This particular feminine figure will pursue the truth and may have little patience for anything but the truth. She's loyal, and she has emotions, but they're very controlled. She's not going to let the emotions rule her, okay? So this could be someone, especially with that sword, of legal importance to you if you're indeed going through that. And this could be someone who in your life who is just looking for the truth. And there is deceitful energy in this situation. So you do have here the Page of Wands, and the Page of Wands is Mercury and Sagittarius energy. And the Page of Wands is new potential, right? Inspired ideas. It could be part of this creative energy we talked about up here, coming from and this could come in from a message, right? You could get a message, some good news that inspires you and opens up the floodgates for something creative for you. Could be, because when we add this up and we break it down, we get Jupiter energy, which is more Sagittarian energy. And Jupiter is the planet of opportunity and growth. Ultimately, that is what you're looking for, especially with this renewal card. Here on your last leg, you have this card again. This is why I use a double deck. You would be surprised how rare this happens, but you have this card twice. This is something either you're flowing into this month, or it is something that is somehow very important to you. Maybe this is something you haven't had for a very long time, and this could have something to do with the creativity flow. Maybe you have been lacking that flow, okay? But it looks like something really good is going to happen, because you do have the you do have the Ace of Pentacles here, and that's pure earth energy. And as you can see, the hand in this picture, whether they're catching this pentacle or controlling it, or or levitating it, they have full control over it, right? And that gravel path is depicted is in the shape of Venus. And Venus is what? Venus is what we talked about: our money, our self-love, our love for others. Venus seems to be important in this reading. You do have the Four of Cups, and this is Moon and Cancer energy, right? You can see that little crab. And you may be tired. There may be part of the month where you lack luster, where you're bored. I think that boredom is going to catapult you if you use this energy correctly. You're bored. What did I say? Some people can live their whole lives without the pursuit of knowledge. You aren't one of them, okay? You do have here the Six of Cups, and the Six of Cups is Sun and Scorpio energy. And this typically, right, in this deck it is a little different, but this is something that you're revisiting. This could be a relationship. All right, we've said that over and over again. And for others of you, this could be something from your past that you wanted for yourself, that you're revisiting. Remember I said the Two of Cups could be two sides of yourself finally coming together and forming this thing that creates this creative flow. But this is something that you wanted for a long time. This isn't like something you just thought about last month. Maybe I'll do this. This is something that perhaps you put on the back burner. Perhaps you just couldn't do it for whatever reason. There's a million and one reasons, right? But this is something that's from the past, and it has to do with the stability and the flow here, because even when we add this up and we break it down, we get 11, and that is a cardinal number. It's a bridging number, and it is that 2 again, right? And it's going from one place to another. It's going down that path. We saw that path open up for you more than once here. Here are your challenges, okay? Yeah. Remember when I said you have this feminine energy, this Queen of Swords? Here she is again. And this feminine energy is in your challenges. So there is some sort of feminine energy around you that is challenging you, very challenging. You do have here the Two of Wands, and that's Mars and Aries energy. And the Two of Wands is especially, in reverse here, it's indecision, a fear of change, a lack planning for the future. But this is your challenge this month, and this is something you can overcome. It sounds like it's something that you have been going through for a large part of your life, however I'm reading for here. You do have here, look, the Eight of Wands in reverse again. Same card, different deck, right? Lack of forward motion, feeling stuck. You're feeling stuck, you're feeling bored, and that's because the floodgates have not opened yet. You do have here, this is a bonus card for this deck, coming in sideways. In my readings, it's a choice. The sideways card, you have nuclear winter. And this is Pluto energy for sure. And it's a decision about whether you can survive and thrive in a current situation. It's something that you're going to have to decide. I want to say that you can. I want to say that you can actually flourish past this situation, but it's a decision you're going to have to come to, right? Not every Gemini that listens to this that's in this situation is going to thrive. Some of them are going to fall right back into these old patterns, but the energy is here for the taking. And when we add this column up and we break it down, it is Pluto energy again, death and rebirth, Scorpion energy. Here in your opportunities column, you have the opportunity for growth. Does that surprise you? After everything we just said, there is an opportunity here on the table. You have, and here, look, Three of Swords in reverse. Three of Swords in reverse. I'm really glad I do the shuffling and the laying out on camera. You'll see, if you go back, you'll see that this fell out by itself. So you have the Three of Swords, this Venus and Libra energy, and this is healing. And Spirit is doubling down on this as an opportunity. This is healing something. I really think for many of you, it's healing something inside yourself. Okay, you do have here the Five of Swords, and the Five of Swords is Uranus and Aqua, defending yourself or your position and being successful, because this is your opportunities. You'll have the opportunity to defend yourself and you'll be successful in that defense. You have the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups is Venus and Pisces energy, and this is an offer that you will receive. You're going to receive an offer, and the offer is going to be something you like, or it, again, for the few of you where this is about a relationship, this is an offer from somebody that you love. But the bottom line is you're going to get an offer from a source that you love, or you're going to get an offer that you really like in general. There's an offer on the table. When we add that up and we break it down, we get Saturn energy, Aquarius, Capricorn energy. And what is Saturn? It's perseverance. There's that word again, right? Perseverance, overcoming obstacles. The potential is ripe for this. Let's do, I'm going to pull one of these cards here, and then we'll do your numerology real quick to close out your reading for Gemini, August 2025. Doesn't surprise me. You have the World. Closing out a cycle. Closing out. It's the end of a story. The start of a new story. Fulfillment. Completion. Completion. This is the end and the beginning. And taking this into consideration, when we add up all the numbers in your reading and we break them down, we get number 4, which is Uranus energy, and that is Aquarius energy. It is unexpected change. It could be rebellion. And what are you rebelling against? For some of you, you're rebelling against your own patterns, your own past patterns. Okay. The number that came out the most in this reading was number 3, and that is Jupiter energy, right? Expansion. It is definitely growth. I mean, there's just no doubt about it, right? The planet that came out the most was Venus, and that is Libra Taurus energy, and that is what we talked about over and over again, right? We have that money/love, goals/love, could be self-love, like we mentioned. The sign that came out the most is Libra, and Libra is the scales of justice. And it's also Venus energy again, right? So Spirit is sort of doubling down on that Venus energy. The signs that we talked about here were Virgo, Cancer, Taurus, Capricorn, Pisces, Aquarius, Libra, Aries, Sagittarius, and Scorpio. Okay. Basically, you have Jupiter coming out twice. At least twice. I mean, it's actually, I'm just talking about the end result here. It's that expansive growth energy, and Spirit is also doubling down on that Venus energy, right? Your goals. And Uranus energy came out subtly underneath all that, pushing it, right? That sort of rebelling against your own past patterns for some of you. I feel that very strongly. I wish you all the luck, Gemini. If you haven't listened to your birthday reading yet, I invite you to do so. It's 3 blessings coming for just Gemini for between 2025 and 2026. And it is a pick a candle reading. Namaste, Gemini.